became very committed to building a chapter that had a different focus. And especially in a market where there already are 2 chapters established, we didn't want to compete with them. We just wanted to offer something that was different. The goal was not to attract members off the waiting list from the other chapters. The goal was to draw people in who wanted a particular YPO experience, and it was our intention to give it to them.
The community at large is not just a bunch of white males from Highland Park. That's not what it is. And so we wanted to address that and make it more representative of the overall community.
We had all bought into and seen the fruit of a single-minded attitude around unity and diversity, and allowing different points of view to be present at the table. And I think we kind of enjoyed that.
One of our board members coined the phrase spikiness when we were trying to describe how we were selecting our candidates for membership. And I liked it because it wasn't a rigid, numerical, black and white type, this candidate fits the criteria, so therefore let's interview him. It was more, what makes this candidate special? What do we think is going to make them a great member of our chapter?
It was also a competitive fire to say, how do we make the best of the best? And part of that was we agree that what's important, and a lot of these are YPO principles, of truly being a leader that wants to give back to the world. And when you get a group of leaders together that are willing to do that, and they each hold the next group and the next group and the next group, and you put that succession plan in place, we didn't expect to win. I think we were running up the year before, and all of a sudden it happens. I think that says a lot that we didn't expect to win, even though deep inside it's great to be recognized, but not one person would take credit for that. They would say from the past to the present, that team made that happen.
We were just, we were being something special as we understood what special was, and we weren't trying to win any popularity contests, and the rest of the world just said, that's special.
No chapter had ever won in that short amount of time, but our chapter was different. Our chapter knew that we were new, knew that we were young, but also knew that we wanted to be different. We wanted to integrate, engage, and exhibit the passion that we all had for YPO. We knew that the more that we put in, the more that we would get out.
I think I get more credit for its success than I deserve. I'm grateful for having had the opportunity to be part of the chapter in the early days and to establish a direction that just so many people have jumped on with. But the credit to the chapter's success goes to every person who's a member, everybody who's part of welcoming prospective members, everybody who is part of onboarding new members, everybody who finds a way to make room for another person in your forum, even when you think your forum is full. That open attitude of humble service to your fellow member and to their families is where the credit needs to be ultimately.
A lot of the things that I think a typical organization goes through in a learning curve of how do you sort of be in business, how do you put on good events, a lot of those things I feel like we had a strong foundation. It was just a matter of just changing a few things internally, like adding sponsors in so we had more dollars to play with, getting laser focused on the types of members that we wanted to bring in the group. And then we wanted to be the best chapter in the world. I mean, we wanted it. So we were acting in a manner that would be representative of wanting to be the best in the world. And when you combine all those things together, if people have a vision and they have something that they want to follow and they believe in, especially when you have a group of type A personalities that are spiky, you're going to get the results that you want.
I think that we have always known kind of who we were. We've always had a very clearly defined mission, and we stuck to that. And it was never about trying to win a popularity contest. It just wasn't. My opinion is if you try and win a popularity contest, you will never win it. So what we did very well is we defined who we were, and we stuck to our guns even when it wasn't popular, and we executed to that, and that made all the difference.
The one thing I'd say about North Texas is that everybody needs to be very proud of what's transpired, how the organization has been built. You know, we owe a lot of gratitude to our founders, and we owe a lot to people who probably aren't going to be on this video. Because while you can have a passionate board, there's people way beyond that are the day chairs, the spouses of the day chairs, the people that just pick up and basically connect. And so everybody in this organization, whether you're on the board or not, should be very proud of all the accomplishments and all the accolades that the chapter has received.
We wrote an 80-page policies and procedures manual that just from soup to nuts how to run a chapter. And we put a lot of work into it as a board, and we've open sourced it and given it to every chapter in the world in Word format. We've gotten just rave reviews and thanks from chapters ranging from China to Latin America and all over the US. It's been awesome to see that. We've written a whole computer system that automated how chapters work, and which would have cost thousands and thousands of dollars. We've donated it to all the chapters in YPO, and it's been recognized by the parent organization. And then finally, we've just developed what's YPO WPO's first app store, and that's going to have all the best knowledge and information from all chapters in the world, starting with ours. And it's going to be completely open to every chapter in the world and work just like the Apple Store. So we're pretty fired up on where we can take it.
My perspective as one of the founding members is that we started with a challenger ethic, a very entrepreneurial spirit, but really driven by that challenger ethic. Nobody really wanted this chapter except the members. Coming all the way to today, 11 years later, incoming chapter chair, and I think that is still an inherent truth in our chapter brand, if you will, that we are the challenger chapter. That is an ethic that I think will carry us forward for many, many years to come.